Okay. Tell us a little bit about Too Much Coffee Man.
Well, I don't know what there is to say. Too Much Coffee Man is the comic book that I put together and put out. Here's the cover of it. I reside in Austin, and it's a company called Adhesive Comics, and that's me, Aubrey, Ashley, and Martin. And we just started doing comics. About a year and a half ago, we got together the company and started working together. And we have Too Much Coffee Man out, Jab, and this is the bullet hole issue that we shot with a gun. Everybody says, why do you shoot your comic with a gun? And basically we shot it because our sales were down on number 2, and we needed a gimmick that was cheap to help sell number 3, so we shot it and it tripled our sales.
Who actually got to do the shooting?
Oh, I shot most of them myself.
You shot them?
Yeah, I just took it out in the field and shot it. And then, you know, it's a gimmick, but then it's integral with the story. Like, throughout the story, people are getting shot, or there's things getting shot or blown away, or holes in things like that. And then Tom King just got his comic book out. That's Pagliacci. So we started small, and we're still small. But at least now we've got 3 comic books out, and we used to only have 1 out. So I guess it's getting bigger. But
what kind of character or story is that Too Much Coffee Man?
Too Much Coffee Man has 3 storylines going on at the same time. There's the Too Much Coffee Man story, which is the comic book, and then there's the story of the guy who's drawing the comic book, and then there's a story about a guy who's reading the comic book. So you've got the cartoon, the cartoonist, and the audience as 3 stories that kind of relate and interweave. I guess, yeah, that's pretty much it. And oh, and at one point the cartoonist who's drawing Too Much Coffee Man starts to syndicate single-page cartoons to newspapers for extra money and all that. And that's something that I'm doing, is I'm taking one-page cartoons and sending them to newspapers and running them in various newspapers and fanzines and such.
What's time?
That one, yeah. Are we on again? Oh.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay.
Keep going.
Oh, well.
Go for the amphidex. We're going to get a shot of that here behind.
Okay. Okay. So what's next? What's the next?
Where did the name Too Much Coffee Man? Is there inspiration for that?
Coffee, sitting there.
You have all the same habits?
Drinking, you know, 3rd cup of coffee. And I'm like, you know, I need a good character, something that'll be popular. What can I do? You know, too much coffee. It's like, this is so dumb. You know, that's about where it came from. Trying to think of something dumb and stupid that would be really fun to do.
Right.
Question? Next?
Probably much like yours, our brains are mush as well, right?
Yeah. How many have we done today? Did I mention I haven't eaten yet? Did I mention that? No one seems to care when I say that.
That you've done 10 of these?
I don't know. That I haven't eaten today. You know?
Oh. Hey, I got some fries that you're certainly welcome to.
First comic book you've done?
It's the first comic book of my own stuff that I've done, yeah. And yeah, it's
What's some other stuff you've done? Maybe someone else?
Well, Jab I helped put together, and then with Blackbird Comics I put out a book called Children with Glue. They published it for me, and this has I used to do a strip for the Daily Californian in Berkeley, a daily strip, and it's a lot of the daily strips in there. Some of the characters that I used to deal with in the daily strip I've brought back into the comic book. Actually, the character that I used in the strip is the reader, the audience of the comic book, or in the comic book. Let's see. I got some sketches by other people in here, like Kieran Dwyer, Gilbert Shelton, Sergio Aragonés, and letters from Peter Bagg, Dave Sim, Michael T. Gilbert. And so hopefully there's like a variety of things in the comic book to keep people interested. Come on, give me a good question. Who do you
think your readers are? If you were to describe who you think the person buying your comic is, who would that be?
That guy right there.
Are you targeting it at a particular
I was basically doing something that I would want to do, and if there are people that like it, then I'm fortunate, and if people don't like what I'm doing, then you know, I'm screwed, I guess. But I'm not pandering, and really. I'm writing the way I want to, and I'm drawing the way I want to.
Any inspirations? Favorite comics? Favorite artists?
I've been getting into Cerebus a lot lately, but let's see. I-Beam, Sam Hurt's I-Beam really influenced me. What was a big influence? Reading The Dark Knight Returns. That really that's what got me back into comic books. I was about to give up on them, and then it's like Frank Miller did this thing, and I was like, wow, this is great. Comic books, can be good, And then Miracle Man was coming out, and that I really liked. Just seeing that comic books could operate on more than one level, seeing it. That really inspired me. That brought me back into it. I was about to just give up on it and go into architecture. But seeing that it could be an art form, or seeing that it did have a complexity to it, that's what made me want to do it again.
Are you at all interested in getting into like mainstream superhero, X-Men, that kind of stuff? Or
I wouldn't mind writing it. I don't know if I could draw it or not. I don't know if my abilities are such. But yeah, it's something that I wanted to do a lot when I was younger, and yeah, I'd like to do some mainstream stuff. I wouldn't want to do it all my life, but
character you'd like to do your version of?
Iceman. I always liked the Iceman. Everybody makes fun of me. Oh, he's so wimpy, but I mean, I always thought he was really cool.
We have an Iceman action figure in our freezer at home, so.
And the Silver Surfer, I really like him too, but I guess he's pretty hip right now, so there's probably not a chance of me doing a Marvel super. I'd love to, though. I'd love to revamp a superhero.
You ought to work him into Too Much Coffee, man. Parodies. Do you have plans for the future? Is this going to be a long? Is this a mini-series?
I want to go with it till I burn out on it. I've scripted about 9 issues. I have planned that far as to what's going to happen in the comic book. Basically, I'm going to have Too Much Coffee Man. The comic book follow the same path as the Turtles, where first it comes out and it's real hip and popular, and then as it gets popular, then it becomes unhip, and everybody starts to hate it. And, well, it was really good back when it was a mini comic, but now that it's a cartoon, it really sucks. He's really compromised a lot, and try to bring that kind of duplicity into it, or.
I guess Easton and Laird, when they're cashing all their checks every week, they're saying, screw integrity.
Yeah. I wonder what they're thinking. I mean, that's kind of what I want to look at, is see, try to figure out why people compromise, and at what point the compromises take place, and what it means to the creator to compromise, and then how much does money act as a, how much of a payoff is that, Is that it?
Right, yeah, he was saying, need some shade?
Sure do.
Look out there, little one.
Do you have any advice for people wanting to get into comics? You seem to have gotten in your own way.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter. That's about all I can say. it's taken a lot more out of me to do it than I thought it would. It's very time consuming, and it's taken a lot of focus, and I've had to sacrifice in a lot of areas, like social life, health, personal relationships, finance, in order to get done, what I wanted to do. But it's been worth it in a lot of ways. But I would like to see Cliffhanger, or I'd like to see Jurassic Park one of these days, or the Coneheads, or
Not working out some kind of deal with some coffee company to be the official coffee of Too Much Coffee.
Yeah, well, Rudamaya is going to be sponsoring a few of my signings in Austin. They're a real good coffee company. They are pretty. There's a lot of coffee companies that are pretty exploitative of their workers, but Rudamaya seems to be pretty decent, and they're giving me a lot of free coffee at the signing, so that whenever I have a signing, that I'll have as much free coffee as you can drink. So that's good. I'm happy about that.
How much is too much coffee?
Probably 1 cup. It's not very good for you.
You should be the expert. How much is too much coffee for too much coffee? Where did he go over the line?
Where's the limit? Probably having a cup on the head is definitely.
Might he evolve into too much something else, man?
Too much crack, man. Yeah, coffee leads you into.
That's John W., Andy Solis, Ron Berry, and Vidal Garcia. Please come to the podium to claim your door prizes.
Oh, it's I did the shirt, yeah. As a matter of fact, when I did the shirt, I bought it long sleeve. It's a size small, and I have to peel it on myself. And originally, of course, it was long sleeve. I showed me this sleeve. He cut the mask, so I cut the mask. And sleeve out the shirt, so I did the same thing. It was a little too hot for the leather jacket with a high vest stand up. So, if I try to drive all the way across Houston, my unair-conditioned automobile, and leather, I'll die. Yeah. Oh, I live out on 290. Long drive, yeah. 40-minute drive.
Okay, it's too bad. None of the 4 people came up here, so we're going on to 4 more people. Okay, so the Magnus Robot Fighter Silver and Boss number.
All right, man.
And Magnus. Level 500 Superman.
He just stops. No, I don't.
The signing back goes to Karen Lerner of Houston, Texas. The cybernetics goes to Carol Alvin, and the hardback aliens goes to
that. This is a really goofy thing. I can draw with both hands at the same time. About a week.
Oh, really?
Robert.
Yeah, I broke my arm back in 8th grade, and so I learned how to write with my left hand. And the other day I was just playing around and did it, and then somebody said, oh, that'd be a really good thing to do at conventions. I mean, they were really impressed. And so I just kept doing it, or I just started doing it again. But